and she literally has said nothing. Hi, thank you for clicking on the video, and I hope everyone is doing really well. We're gonna watch a video together, and it's, of course, on the whole no longer vegan fun little situation that's going down. Rawvana's newest video, I think it is entitled, where did I save it? Turning the Page. And it's a short 5-minute video, so hopefully we can make it through. I'm just gonna make a few predictions. First of all, I'm sure she's going to apologize for lying and being deceitful. Also, I anticipate the following words to be used probably more than once: transparent, authentic. Yeah, those are the only two that I can think of. I have to hear the word transparent one more time.
Hello everyone, I hope that you're having a great day. In my last video, I shared with you the news of the change in my diet, and ever since then, I received a lot of comments and feedback from people that follow me online, from my friends, from my family, and although there has been a lot of criticism, there's also been tons and tons of support, and for that, I am really grateful, and that is why I am here. Thank you to everyone who took the time to write a comment, send a message, give a like, to my friends, to my family who are calling me and texting me every single day, and of course to my husband who has been supporting me every minute of this journey. One thing that I do want to mention before jumping into other subjects is that a very important thing that happened due to the situation is that a lot of conversations have come up about wellness, having a healthy diet and healthy lifestyle, which is what got me excited and motivated to start all of this in the first place. I adopted healthier habits, I left unhealthy habits behind, and I began feeling so many benefits that I wanted to share with the whole world. Today, I am a firm believer in having healthy habits to feel better physically, mentally, and emotionally even.
She's really out of breath, which I'm sure she's very nervous filming that, but as someone watching, it's kind of annoying, but I know that I do it too, so I'm sure I can be annoying too, but had to just say that. I'm sure she's going to be explaining something, and 1 minute and 24 seconds in, and she literally has said nothing. I feel like a lot of these videos, it's like, we're coming clean, I'm explaining where like everything's going from here, blah, 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 and then they literally are as vague as possible. Like, she's using the word habit. I'm assuming that's referring to her diet, her food choices. Like, she's not being very clear on what she's talking about. I'm sure the leaving unhealthy habits behind, since a lot of the critique and the criticism towards her like not feeling well on a vegan diet has been because she's been super restrictive, like to the point of not eating for 25 days when she did her water fast, and like just not letting her body do what it's supposed to do by not feeding it. I'm sure that is what she's talking about. It'll be nice to see if she does put out like what I eat in the day videos by saying that she's putting those bad habits behind her. I'm hoping to see that she's eating like a decent amount. I'm worried though that she's still gonna be restrictive no matter what diet she's on. And I'm sure there's other like emotional, mental habits that bad habits that she's had that I'm sure she's working on, but she just hasn't made those public, which, I mean, there's no reason to. Like, she's not, like, we as the viewer, we are not entitled to know what's going on in her head 24/7 and all her problems and all her issues and all her struggles. Like, we don't need to know. We are not entitled to it, despite her wish to be transparent. Because if she's not going to say it, I have to throw it in. I have to use the words.
Spiritually, to achieving health and balance. I also believe in using foods as a key element to obtaining wellness. Another thing that I want to say is that more so now than ever, it's become apparent to me and more clear to me that being healthy and feeling good is gonna look different to everyone. There really isn't a one-size-fits-all solution to wellness. Many times, and I include myself in this, we will see life as black or white. But the reality is that most of life lies within a gray area. Things in life...
Well, first of all, I do agree. One size does not fit all. I totally agree with that because, I mean, there's 100 different ways to do every type of diet. Like I'm sure this is what we're talking about. We're talking about, like, she probably used to be of the mindset that veganism, everyone's able to do veganism the way that she does veganism. But there's a million different ways, not a million, but there's a ton of different ways to be vegan. Like, there's different ways of eating, just like there are a ton of different ways to not be vegan. What I disagree with is the feeling good. You can be healthy, like, on different diets. There are ways that, like, that's possible, but it's the feeling of feeling good that I'm not saying that only being, like, if you're vegan, you're going to automatically feel good, because I don't feel good. Like, I feel good maybe 30 seconds every day, to be honest. Like, but it has nothing to do with being vegan. It has to do with a lot of other stuff. But to feel good, like, what does that mean? Because I know, I mean, there are people who feel really good when they do heroin. Like, that's the thing. When it comes to wellness, when it comes to lifestyle, when it comes to health and all that stuff, you can't just run on feelings and be like, do what makes you feel good. You know, what makes me feel good might not make you feel good. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm getting at? I mean, it's a really extreme example to use, like, hard drugs. I have issues with always running off your feelings and not thinking about the facts.
Change and evolve, and this is with everything, especially when it has to do with health and the human body.
Yes, we as people are always growing, evolving, learning, expanding our minds, whatever. Like, we're always moving forward. However, when it comes to health, you can break it down to biology. Like, our bodies pretty much run the same way. There are, like, hereditary biological factors that will change, but our bodies all essentially are supposed to be doing the same thing. Like, we're humans. We're the same. Where was my point? That was my point. We as individuals change, but our biology doesn't.
A strict plant-based diet worked for me for many years, and then it didn't. I had to accept and admit to myself that the needs of my body were changing. This was a very difficult decision for me to make, to change my diet.
My main argument against, like, militant vegans trying to tear people who are no longer vegan down. I feel like people think that they just, when they become ex-vegans, they just throw their beliefs to the wind and they're like, F that, I'm now going to do this, and now I'm suddenly a selfish biatch. What I really want to emphasize is this decision did not come easy to those people, and that is what she's saying. And I think it's really important for people to say, just because I don't agree with some of your choices doesn't mean you are a bad person and I hate you. I feel like some vegans out there do hate non-vegans and ex-vegans. We don't need to name names. I'm sure we all know who I'm talking about. I forgot my point again. If you are having health problems and it feels like at that point eating animal products is the only way to alleviate your pain and suffering, you have to do what you think is best for you at that time. And you just have to let it happen. Obviously, so being vegan worked for her, like she said, for a long time, and then it didn't. And that's probably due to the fact that I think she did do some restrictive eating and formed some pretty unhealthy habits when it came to veganism and restriction and going on all the fad diets that are really prevalent in veganism. And I think that played a toll on her body. Don't see her as someone who has stuck to like a normal diet for a long period of time. It's hard. I mean, I come from a very restrictive background and a binge background. So, I mean, I still struggle with both of those still. And I still want to resort back to my bad habits, but it's like you have to force yourself to eat normal, because the more you do it, you're training your body. Like, you're making your body stronger by sticking to a consistent eating pattern. And I don't think she did that long enough. I mean, it could be years you have to stick to it before you start to feel better.
But I did it, essentially. I listened to my body. Now, I know that a lot of people are in disagreement with my decisions, and it's okay. But at the end, it was my decision to make, and that is what I did. Another thing that is really interesting is that over the course of these days and weeks, I've learned of so many other people that have been in similar situations, and they've had to make a health-related change for whatever reason. One thing that I've learned is that in life, we have to change, evolve, adjust, adapt, compromise, and essentially figure out what is best. And that's gonna be different for everyone. I still truly and fully believe in the benefits of a plant-based diet. But one thing that I've come to understand, and this was from personal experience, is that it may not work for everyone at all times. For some people, it will work all of the time. For some people, it will work for periods of time, and then it won't. Or for others.
She was saying how, like, plant-based diet, a vegan diet, worked for her for a while and then it didn't. I get that completely, because different scenario, similar outcome from my experience. I used to have 0 allergies and intolerances. 0. Like, I could eat anything and I would be fine. Over the years, I have developed some of the most common intolerances that a person can have, and I have, like, all of them. I don't know if it's because of something in my body was weakened by my restrictive diet. Something has happened, whether it was over consumption of those things, or did I restrict to the point where my body didn't know how to digest certain things, and so now it just rejects those things. When I was non-vegan, I pretty much ate the same way up until, like, puberty, where I learned about not eating and started doing that instead, and then became a vegetarian, or pescatarian, vegetarian, vegan. It's all along, the whole time being super restrictive through those periods of change, like extreme change. So that might have caused it. So I get, like, eating a certain way can work for a while, and then all of a sudden you might develop health problems. You might develop allergies. I get that. I get it. I sympathize. I get it.
It's really important, and I understand this more now, to be open to new ideas and perspectives. It's not about, like, judging something as being right or wrong. It's about being open, it's about being motivated, it's about being truthful with yourself.
When you are set in your ways, you are going to close your mind and your ears off to anyone who speaks differently, even if they have your best interests at heart and you don't have your best interests at heart. So for her, obviously, when she started to not feel well, she probably went to biased people, biased professionals, people who are going to tell her what she wants to hear. And when their remedies didn't work, eventually you have to cave and you have to go to other people who are going to give you more information other than the small little box that you live in. And you have to go outside of that. And you have to be open-minded. It's going to be painful. I mean, it's going to be hard to hear. You done goofed. And not the only way, but the best way at this point for you to reverse your damage is to do something that you don't even believe is right. And you have to, it's really hard, but you have to separate right and wrong, morality in a sense, from health. At the end of the day, if you can keep yourself healthy and well, you're doing something right. It is not a wrong thing to do. Now, unfortunately, her actions, some would say, is morally wrong because she's harming through her payment and contribution she is contributing to the suffering and death of animals. Boom, got that line memorized from the script, from the vegan script of the world. I'm a really bad vegan, by the way. I don't have all the catchphrases memorized.
If you are someone who is struggling with a health-related issue, do not ignore it. Take charge and do something about it.
I think that's actually good advice. A lot of trial and error. I've gone through a lot of uncomfortable situations when it comes to my health. I know I don't have to eat animal products, but in the meantime, I have to go through trial and error and figure out which plant foods are messing me up. So I have to go through that. But then once I find foods that are really make me really comfortable and help me and are not hard on my body, I stick to them. Take charge of your health. That's gonna look different for everybody.
Now, after the past few days and weeks, I feel good. I feel better every single day, physically, mentally, and emotionally.
The excitement and the thrill of change is gonna wear off. Yeah, she's feeling great now. She's gonna praise where she is.
I feel empowered. I feel excited. I feel empowered to make the decisions that are right for me, regardless of what others may think, and I'm feeling inspired for the journey that lies ahead of me. I truly believe that we have created this community for a purpose. So I am going to continue sharing my life, sharing my healthy journey to help you become a better, healthier version of yourself. I will continue to support the plant-based lifestyle, but I'm also going to widen my scope. And most importantly, I want to help others become empowered to find the solutions that are best for them, because each one of us is unique.
How can you support something you do not participate in? I think that's a legit question. How can people respect a hypocrite? It sends mixed messages to uninformed people. You can't just change the definitions of words to match what you're feeling that day. It's like she's still plant-based, but she eats animals. And that is wrong. That's incorrect. It's not true. That is a lie. People need to stop redefining words that have been set and defined for years, because that is how we understand one another. That is how we communicate, is by knowing the definition. And if you are sending this information out to uneducated, uninformed people, they are going to continue that lie as they try to inform others. I thought this was going to be quick, and of course it wasn't. Oh my gosh. But I'm impressed. I was so sure transparent and authentic were going to be in there. And I was so sure there was going to be some apology. I guess the apology was the thing on Instagram, I think yesterday or the day before, whatever. I'm super behind on everything. All right, so that was that. I don't even know what that was. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit the thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe. And if you have any comments, critiques, questions, video suggestions, feel free to leave those in the comment section. And I will see you next time. Bye!